Hello, everyone, and welcome to the annual alignment. This can be used year after year and is a great way to align your priorities and stay on track throughout the year. Hello, everyone. My name is Tansy Trail. You can read more about my bio and credentials in the link in the show notes. But for now and today, I'd love to focus on you. I'm going to share a little bit about the annual alignment, and then we're going to walk right through it. So the turn of a calendar year can be seen as a time of introspection and reflection. It's an opportunity to gain clarity, purify our priorities, let go of anything that no longer serves us. And it's also an ideal time to imagine forward into what we desire to bring into our lives. I developed the annual alignment over the past 13 years for my own use and while guiding my clients. I'm fusing NLP writing prompts, I'm fusing energy awareness, yogic principles, and other proven performance modalities that I've used into a more holistic approach to goal setting. It is designed to bring awareness and presence to where we are now as our starting point for where we want to go. Success begins the moment we commit to staying present with ourselves and our life goals, and to being held accountable as we craft and navigate our ideal year ahead. The annual alignment then flows right into our accountability call circle weekly. Once we're aligned with what we want to accomplish, we show up weekly to stay focused, to be held accountable, and to take authentic action consistently with integrity. You can enter your email below if you find the link to join the accountability call circle below. Enter your email and you can receive an invitation to join that group. I look forward to seeing you there. But first, let's get into the annual alignment. It's an ongoing process and it's a living document. It's free to evolve, to edit, and to change and grow as you do. Using the writing prompts below, we're going to set aside time, and you can pause this video as you go. And an hour to 2 hours is the most you would take for this process, so you can revisit this video. Or even doing a quick first pass in 5 minutes right now is great. Anytime you can devote to it is great. The process is meant to be visited frequently, daily, weekly, monthly, as you go and grow throughout the year. The writing by hand is suggested, so grab a brand new notebook or a stack of paper, your favorite pen, and let's begin. Our first part in this process is called the awareness, because unless you know what your starting point is, it's really hard to get clear and precise about where you want to go, okay? So we're going to start our process today with bringing awareness to our priorities, to ground into the areas of life that are most important to us. I want you to take a second, and on a sheet of paper, you can chunk the sheet of paper into 6 squares if you like, or write it however you like, but we want to choose, if you only have 4, choose 4. We want to ideally choose 6 areas of life that are most important to us now. Some suggestions would be life purpose, family and inner circle, and primary relationships, career professional goals, mental, spiritual health, self-care, financial planning, prosperity, philanthropy and contribution, community and social, joy and fun, time off, rest, longevity, body, physical health, knowledge and learning, travel and adventure. These are some suggestions, but perhaps you have your own. Whatever it is, I want you to first start off by identifying the primary focus in your life. Where are you committing to put your energy for growth? And what are you going to protect your time and mental health and space and resources and energy and focus? What are you going to protect? Anything that isn't aligned with this from getting into your way this year. That's a big part of it. Setting boundaries is always a big part of progress, right? We have to let go of things that aren't aligned with where we're headed, and we have to set boundaries to stay on track. So you've got your 6 areas mapped out, all right? Pause this video if need be to get those 6 areas complete. And then once you have them, we're moving on to step 2. Step 2, all great journeys have a starting point, a destination, and flexibility to embrace the unknown and unexpected along the way. So from step 1, from your list of 6, I want you to go ahead and just very quickly, this doesn't have to be deep writing just yet. In your 6 areas of life, I want you to make 3 statements in each area that mark exactly where you are now in each one of these areas. First thing that comes to mind, try not to edit it at all. Just jot it down. Each area of your life that is a priority for you now. Where are you today? Where are you at right now with this area? Pause the video if you need be and get this written down now. If you've paused the video, welcome back. We're going to move on to step 3. Reflecting on the past year, okay? Now you've got your priorities, your 6 priorities written out. You know where you are in each area of life that's important to you. Now I want you to look back, and we're going to gain awareness by reflecting on the year that we just had. Whether you're doing this in January or on your birthday or any other time of the year is a great starting point. January is a great time because it's the beginning of the year, but use this whenever it works for you. We're going to take each of the 6 areas of our life and we're going to move each area of life through a series of writing prompts. Okay, we're going to move quickly. Follow our impulses, try not to edit, allow the first thing that comes to mind. Deeper writing can happen later for any area that needs more processing or unpacking or that inspires you to go deeper. And as always, skip any of the questions that aren't for you or that aren't flowing for you and focus on those that you gravitate to. But we're going to take each area and we're going to run that area through a series of 12 questions, okay? Here are the 12 questions. You might want to write these down and then take each area of life through it one by one. This is a little bit of a deeper process, and you're probably going to want to pause the video to do the work and come back to it. First question, number 1, what went well? Include any major wins that you had this year or anything that you are most proud of. Number 2, what did not work? Include losses or anything that you're grieving still. Number 3, what was the easiest and most fun and brought you the greatest joy? Number 4, what was the most stressful, most challenging? I want you to think of your failures, mistakes, missed opportunities. Number 5, what are the most important things you learned from how you handled things that affect how you will now move forward in each area? So what were the most important things you learned about how you handled each area of life that's important to you? Number 6, I want you to list any self-talk or internal dialogue or limiting beliefs that you are aware of in each area. For an example, if you're someone who thinks about wanting more friends, but you have social anxiety, maybe there's some self-talk or internal dialogue that says, I really want friends, but I'm uncomfortable making friends. So just don't try to change it yet. We're just increasing our awareness around the areas of life that are important to us. We want to know where we are now. Number 7, how did you feel most often in each area of life that's important to you? And why do you think you felt that way? Again, we're not digging super deep. First thing that comes to mind, jot your impulses down, try not to edit. How did you feel most often in each one of these areas that's most important to you? And why? Why? If you can see clearly why you felt that way, jot it down. Number 8, on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being best, rate how each area of the life that is a priority to you now, how did each area go this year on a scale from 1 to 10, 10 being best? Rate each area. So if health and fitness is one of your top priorities in life right now, on a scale of 1 to 10, how did you do last year? Okay. Number 9, list any predominant habits, activities, patterns, or behaviors that you notice that you have in each area. Taking fitness as an example again, maybe you notice that you start off really strongly and go strong and hard for a week and then taper off and then quit and have to remotivate yourself again. So any habits or activities or patterns or behaviors that you notice in the areas that are most important to you. These patterns, anything that stands out to you. Okay. Again, using our 6 areas of life, I want you to run each area of life through all these questions. Next question. Number 10, which 3 to 5 people were closest to you in each particular area of your life, and what is their measure of success or challenge in that area? So, for example, who was closest to you in the area of romantic relationships? Like, do you have a bunch of girlfriends and you know, you're all single and that's who you hang around? And what is their measure of success in that department? Are they pursuing relationships? Are they close to it? Are they far from it? Where are they at? Or, you know, 3 to 5 people who were closest to you in each area of your life and measure their success. Maybe financial success or financial growth is most important to you. And who are the 3 to 5 people closest to you in the area where your money lives, where you earn money, your career perhaps? Are you working with people who are more successful and smarter than you and financially above you? And their measure of success in the area of finance is way up here, so it's drawing you up and closer to it, or the opposite? Okay. Question number 11, what is possible now in each area of your life that was not possible a year ago? So I want you to reflect on your progress and how much you've grown over the past year. Right? So we grow every year, regardless of if we do an in-depth process or not. And so I want you to identify what's possible for you now that wasn't possible a year ago, that came along and taught you something or shifted you, that you're actually capable of it now, that you weren't a year ago. Okay. And finally, number 12, what unfinished business, if any, is there in each area that you want to release and wrap up and let go of and feel complete about? What open ends or loose ends or unfinished business do you have in any one of these areas that will free up some of your energy to get that done and get that completed? Okay. So I know it's a lot, but it's the rigor that we do. We create this container where we are really getting granular and focused and familiar with the 12 months that we just lived, and and what came out of it. We're mining for gold. We're looking for the good that we can take from our experience. Okay. Now, next question, just since we're sort of tracking everything about the year prior, I want to know, was there a word or phrase that was important to you last year? Like, did you have a word of the year that you committed to and you tried to remember that word as your sort of grounding point as the year went on? Was there a word or a phrase or like an affirmation or an intention that you used? And if there was, how closely did you adhere to that? Did you stay on track with that, or did you completely stray from it and totally forget about it until I mentioned it just now? We're just making a note of this. We're just increasing awareness today, and then we're going to move from this awareness into the next step. Okay? So what was your word or intention for the prior year? And then I want to know anything else. I want to know if there's anything else that wants or needs to come through, to be seen, to be heard, to be witnessed about the year prior, to successfully and as clean as possible bring the chapter that the last year was to a close. I want you to allow at least 3 minutes for this piece. Again, pause the video throughout as you go. I want you to allow at least 3 minutes and just say anything else, brain, heart, mind, body, spirit. What else do you got to tell me about the prior year? This is your moment. Drop it all in. Anything else, give it to me now. Anything else that wants or needs to be said to complete and close the chapter that just finished. Okay. So all of these writing prompts and all of this energy that we're going to get swirling is actually harnessing and pulling in all the experiences from the prior 12 months and putting it down on the page and causing you to focus on it and look at it and generate it as you're writing it out. So this process alone is harnessing a lot of energy and really connecting you to your present so that you have a super solid foundation as a launch pad to go into step 2 of the annual alignment process. Okay. So stepping into step 2 now, I take a break if you need, come back to the video. Otherwise, we're going to keep plugging along. So our second half of this super powerful structure and process is called, hold on 1 second, I just need to find it on my document here. It is our alignment. All right. So once we have gone through the process of becoming aware of all this, right, the areas of life that are important to us and where we're at in each area and what we hope to achieve in each area as well. Once we have this all sort of mapped out in front of us, we want to start to align with where we're going. Now we know where we are. We want to know where we're going. Okay. So now that we've fully excavated all the value from 2023, it's time to identify what's next in the coming months. Looking forward into the next year, I want you to take your grid of 6 things that are your top priorities in life, and I want you to list the top 3 things that you would like to fully accomplish in each area by the end of the year. Again, be light about it. You don't have to write a novel about it. You don't have to go too deep. The lighter you go, the better. You'll be surprised at how accurate you are if you breeze through these writing prompts, okay? I want you to list, again, the top 3 things you want to be sure to fully accomplish in each area of life that's important to you by the end of the year, okay? Remember, gaining clarity on what I want to accomplish in each area of life is also an important thing to put on the list. That also counts. Sometimes we don't give enough time to ourselves to actually get clear and process what we've done in life and where we want to go next. So be sure to, if you're unsure about what it is you want to achieve in a certain area, then number 1 on your list should be Devote time to getting clear, exploring options, researching, learning, and understanding, the area of life I'm wanting to invest in. If it's finance, understanding what kind of financial investments make sense for you, what kind of retirement funds make sense for you, what kind of charitable giving makes sense for you, right? So your goal could be to get clear on what it is that you need to do. Your goal could be knowledge and wisdom and understanding and learning and growing, so you don't have to have these big, gigantic end goals all finished and buttoned up. They can be process and learning goals that will give you the growth you need this year for the years that follow as well. So if getting clear is something you're needing, add that to the list, because that's extremely valid and it should be at the top of the list. Okay? Many of us need to devote time to discovering what we want to fully invest in. So if getting clear is what you need, then add that to the top of the list, okay? Now, once we have the top 3 things that we want to achieve in each area, I want you to write a statement, a 1-paragraph continuous statement declaring, this year I will bam, 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 bam. List them all out in a continuous flow with a matter-of-fact certainty. No, I will try to work out. No, this year I will take total and complete care of my health by exercising 3 days a week and eating mostly plant-based diet. I will learn about financial investing. I will book travel. I will, whatever it is. This year I will, and list out each thing that you've written, your top 3 things in each area. I want you to make a paragraph of a statement with total matter-of-fact certainty. Okay? You're writing that chunk with total confidence and matter-of-fact certainty. And once you have that, you're going to read through this 3 times slowly. Read through what it is that you're hoping to accomplish this year. Once you've read through it 3 times slowly, you're going to close your eyes and allow this knowing and certainty in you that if these things are something that you desire, they must already be in you. They must already be part of what you can accomplish. Otherwise, why would you want them, right? So rather than rush into the action and doingness of trying to accomplish any of this stuff, I want you to take a moment to declare that it is done. This year I will, boom, list it out. Read through it 3 times slowly, listening to yourself. Close your eyes after you've read it and allow the knowing and certainty in you to expand. Breathe into it. And I want you to sort of resonate with the person in you that you are that will accomplish these things. Okay, resonate with who you will show up as to achieve each one of these things, and who you will be for accomplishing all of these things. So right now, I want you to preset the feeling in you of doing these things. You have your paragraph. You just read it to yourself. Now connect to it. And in connecting to it, we can realize that it's already done. You already have these things and more just waiting in you to be aligned with and brought forward, right? So open to that mentality, open to the idea of these are the things I will do. I will do. The matter of fact. And then I want you to hold this vision and this sensation in yourself. And I want you to come back to that all year as you need it. Anytime you need to reconnect and regroup and reground into what you're aiming for. Okay? Come back to the paragraph that you wrote and edit it as you need, as you go, but have something that's declaring what it is that you will do. Okay? Now our next step in this process, step number 3, okay? Step number 3 is we have another chunk of writing prompts. So again, jot down the questions that really stand out for you. I'll call out the questions that are the rigor. These are the writing prompts to really go a little deeper and to start to connect to what you want to achieve, like before you even set out to do it, which is actually a really powerful way to set the energy in advance of trying to do something. So I'm going to say the writing prompts. You've got your 6 areas of life. You're going to take each area of life and run it through these writing prompts. For example, if my goal is longevity, to focus on how I can live in a super healthy way this year, then I'm going to take longevity, and I'm going to take longevity through my longevity goals through each one of these 12 writing prompts. I'm just going to take it through. And it can happen quick. It doesn't have to be a big, lengthy process. However, if a lot starts coming up, then give yourself the time you need, okay? So let's start going through our alignment questionnaire, our prompts for alignment, to get the goals that we're saying we want, to get deeper into them and a little bit more intimate with them and what it'll take to accomplish them, okay? So we have another 12 questions, all right? And you can even take one question per month, and dive deeper into it. But for now, we're giving them all to you up front, and use them as you will. They're all really helpful and really good if you put pen to paper and create a distraction-free zone for yourself. So next, we're going to go through the prompts below. So as before, you're going to move quickly, follow your impulses, try not to edit, allow the first thing that comes to mind. Deeper writing can happen later for any area that needs more processing or unpacking, or that inspires you to go deeper, or skip any questions that don't feel like they're flowing for you. Just focus on what you gravitate toward, okay? So question number 1, you're going to take all 6 of your priorities in life and your areas of life and the goals that you have for each area. Go through the writing prompts for each area. Number 1, what habits, activities, patterns, and behaviors must you, number 1, let go of, and number 2, adopt in each area of your life in order to take that next step, okay? I'll give you an example. I'll repeat the question. What habits, activities, and patterns, behaviors must you, number 1, let go of, and number 2, adopt in each area in order to take that next step? So if longevity is an area of life that's one of my top priorities, one pattern or behavior that I must let go of is probably eating unhealthy foods, because I know that they are creating issues for the health and longevity of my body. That's a behavior I would have to let go of, eating unhealthy foods, whatever that looks like for me. And one pattern I would have to adopt is probably a primarily plant-based diet. That's an example. And I'm really on board with that, actually. I've already begun. Question number 2, what resistance or limiting beliefs in each area do you need to release in order to achieve what you want? Okay, so question number 2, what resistance or limiting beliefs do you need to release in order to achieve what you want in each area of your life? So we'll notice sometimes that in the area of, let's say, a romantic relationship, maybe you've had some bad experiences. So the thought of going out and dating again, you feel resistance. That's normal. But you need to identify that now. You can't just plan, this year I want to get married when you're totally single and not even dating with any real options on the table, right? So you want to look at, what exactly am I resistant to? What am I saying I wanted, what am I saying I want, but I actually have great resistance to it? So another example is, I want to put away $100,000 into retirement or invest in real estate. if you have resistance to investing in real estate because you don't understand how to buy real estate properly, then that goal is probably not going to go anywhere. So, what resistance do you have, and what steps do you need to take to release that resistance? In the real estate example, a step you might need to take to release that resistance is taking a workshop on how to start investing in real estate, right? Once you know more, you'll replace being scared with being prepared, and you'll be able to move toward your goals. But resistance is a huge, huge deterrent to forward progress in life. So anytime you set a goal, my first next question is, what is your resistance to achieving that thing? And we want to look at that resistance, and then we want to ask it, what do you need in order to shift? What kind of, what this resistance is here? What do I need to let go in order to release, or what do I need in order to release that resistance and move toward this thing? Because if it's on your list, it's something you want. We can't let resistance knock you off course. Okay, we got to just work through that resistance. And most of the time, it's as simple as saying, is there a resistance or a limiting belief about something that I need to release or reframe or reprogram my mind to move forward anyway? Okay, that's item number 2. Item number 3 on our alignment, we're aligning with our goals in all 6 areas of our life. Number 3, what are you already great at that you can expand on to help you accomplish this? So what are your strengths in this area, right? If you have a fitness goal or a health and wellness body goal this year, and you already actually love playing tennis or running or jogging or going to the gym, then that's a strength that you can rely on to expand into already achieving that. And the challenge in that area might just be scheduling, but at least you're aware of the fact that you love working out. So you just need to work on your freeing up your schedule to actually get to the gym. And then that's where the commitment needs to be. So again, question number 3, what are you already great at that you can expand on to help you accomplish your goal in each area? Question number 4, the flip side of that, what do you need help with to achieve this, and who or what will help you or support you, right? For example, the real estate example again, if you're wanting to start investing and you really don't know where to begin, find people who know about real estate. Maybe that's who will help you or support you to understand if you are even really ready, or what is a good first investment, or these kinds of things, right? So question number 4, again, what do you need help with to achieve this, and who will help you or support you in doing so? Moving right along. Question number 5. What positive self-talk, internal dialogue, mindset shifts, core beliefs, so the whole mental piece, right? What mental mindset do you need to be in, or do you need to adopt in order to achieve each one of these goals? Sometimes whenever I look at the success of someone that I admire, I ask myself, what must they be thinking? And I don't mean like, oh, they're crazy. What are they thinking? No, I ask myself, what must they be thinking in order to accomplish that? Picture one of these famous, like, I don't know, pick Taylor Swift as a neutral example, right? She's up on that stage time and time again, despite like all of the public, opinions about her, or any musician for that matter. What must she be thinking in order to continue to show up regardless? Uh-huh. And then any other successful person who shows up every day, because we all wake up from a bed, we all wake up and brush our teeth the same. But those who are the most successful have a specific mindset. And so, what mindset are you going to need to accomplish what you need to accomplish, right? So, at the same time, you're going to be aware of any limiting beliefs and negative self talk you have about the same area. And anytime you hear those negative beliefs and negative self talk, that's the perfect time to reprogram and reframe what you actually need to be hearing to mentally, mindset, mind frame, support yourself to succeed and to be receptive and to receive your success for the work that you're going to put into it. So what positive self-talk or internal dialogue, mindset shifts, core beliefs, what do you need to adopt in order to achieve each one of the goals you have this year? How do you need to think about each thing that you're up to? And if you don't know how to do some of these things, keep an eye on my page and sign up for my email list, because I have digital products that are little short workshops that teach you how to do these things, how to reframe your self-talk, how to reframe your internal dialogue. So you'll still be supported. If any of this stuff feels a little over your head, or you're needing more tools to do any of this, please comment below or email me and say, I need a self-talk reprogramming, hour workshop or whatever it is. And I'll be generating those digital products as I go this year, so that everyone has what they need for the tools that it takes, right? So moving along, question number 6. What pitfalls can you identify and redirect now to avoid the same old outcomes? That's a big one. And that's a super juicy one, because if you are pursuing something that you've been pursuing for over 1 year, in other words, it's been on your list for as long as you've been consciously writing a list of what you want, then you got pitfalls, and you can probably identify what they are now. But what are you going to do now to redirect to avoid the old outcomes? If it's a pitfall that you always get into the same situation, you have a travel goal, but you're afraid of travel, or you don't even know where your passport is. I don't know. That's a pretty light example. What pitfalls can you identify about a goal that you have, but there are roadblocks or things that always take you off track? Maybe it's patterns you have with people you're choosing socially or romantically that keep you just in a lower frequency and off track, and just aren't the right, maybe you're not surrounding yourself with the right people, is a pitfall. So yeah, identify what pitfalls you see and can redirect now to avoid old outcomes as it relates to each one of the goals that you have. Taking your time to do this process is going to be the thing that makes the difference. Okay, let's see. Number 7. How do you want to feel most often in each area of your life that's important to you, and why do you want to feel this way? One of the areas that's important to me this year is family, inner circle, primary relationship. How do I want to feel most in each area, or in that area specifically? I want to feel like I have the best possible people around me, accessible to me, and vice versa at all times. And why do I want to feel this? Is because I know that feeling supported is what makes a difference in my success in life. Whenever I feel like I'm a loner and a lone wolf, I'm very independent, so I'm used to that, and it has its benefits for me. But in the area of who's actually in my life, I need reciprocity. I need you to be there when I call, or tell me when you can get back to me and when you can be there, and vice versa. Like, I need a continuum, and I want to feel supported. I want to feel like I am held and that I'm holding other people. So that's a great example. How do you want to feel in each area of your life, and focus on that feeling, and really know it, and become present with it? How do you want to feel? It's very important. It's a very important part of this process. Okay. Question number 8. How does your focus need to change to become the person who has what you want? Okay. Some of these are redundant. That's why I'm saying take the ones that really the prompts that really inspire you, and you start writing right away. These are the ones you should write. But these are written very carefully with NLP in mind to trigger certain responses. So try to write the answers. How does your focus need to change to become the person who has achieved what you want to achieve? Number 9. What new beginnings do you want to embrace in each area of life that's important to you? What miracles are you open to? This is kind of like the surprises, what new beginnings do you want to embrace in each area? I think, that's open to interpretation. See what comes up for you. Question number 10. What boundaries need to be in place? What boundaries need to be in place in each area of life in order to ensure success in that area? Okay, what boundaries need to be in place? This is a big one. Take your time with this one. Go through, figure out what boundaries need to be in place. If you have a goal of putting away $50,000 into your retirement this year, the boundary needs to be with yourself to watch your shopping, watch your spending, and to keep yourself on a reasonable budget so that you can meet that goal. What boundaries need to be in place within yourself, with others, with people, with energies, with things, with food, whatever it is. What boundaries need to be in place? Boundaries can be set with yourself, with other people, with objects, with food, with alcohol, you name it. Okay. So even with places that you will and will not go, places that feel supportive, cities that feel supportive, being in nature versus, in the middle of a city all the time. So what boundaries need to be in place in order to achieve each one of these goals? Okay, question number 11. Which 5 people do you need to be surrounded by in each area to achieve this? And how can you nurture those relationships? Important to think about. We are the sum of the 5 people we spend the most time with. So if you have certain goals in areas where you don't know anyone who's ever succeeded in that goal, maybe reach out and connect to people who have succeeded in that, and surround yourself. You can have, they say that we're the sum of the 5 people we spend the most time with, but I think we spend time with 5 people multiple times over, depending on where we are in life. Like at work, there are 5 people that I talk to the most. In my large family, there are 5 people, 3 to 5 people I speak to most in my social circle, and so on and so forth. So in each area of life, are there 3 to 5 people that you need to surround yourself with? And if you don't know who that person is yet, write the kind of person it would be. Like, for example, I need a mentor or a financial investor. I need a financial advisor in the area of my wealth and prosperity goal, because a financial advisor is going to be someone who I'm going to hang out with. Either I'm going to make a friend of someone, or I'm going to hire someone, or I'm going to start going to their meetups and getting information from them. Who do you need to be hanging out with? What 3 to 5 people do you need to bring into your life to surround yourself with, who have achieved what you're heading toward, so that they will be that container to hold that for you? Okay. And finally, question number 12. Who or what do you need to release to become the next version of you that has everything that you're going to bring in this year? Who or what do you need to release to become the next version of you that has all of this? And trust me, once you have all of this that you're setting out for this year, you're going to have more each and every subsequent year, right? Because every year is the foundation for the next. If you look back 3 to 5 years ago, you might not have, you have a lot more. You've accomplished a lot more by now. So what do you need to let it go of now to keep your foundation getting stronger for what's coming, and for what's coming this year and what's coming next year, 3 years, 5 years, 10, and so on? What or who do you need to let go of and just completely be done with? Okay. Very well done. You're doing great so far. Stay with me. We're almost there. We're getting to the good part. And again, come back, revisit this video many times as needed, so that you can just work through this at your own pace. And you'll never have a more solid plan for the year if you do complete all these steps. Now that you know where you're going in each area, okay, and you have looked at it from all the angles, the more realistic we are about what we want to accomplish, the more likely it'll happen. That's why, instead of extravagant dreams, I'm not asking you questions like, what's your wildest dreams? What's your biggest vision in life? these things are important, but that's not how you progress each year, by being aware of these big outlandish things. So instead of extravagant dreams, we're identifying what would get us one step further in every one of these areas. What would be the one next right step toward embodying this level of success in a sustainable way, right? Not a flash in the pan goal of like, I want to become a rock star and I don't play any instruments. We want to be like, I'm going to take singing lessons because in 3 years I would like to be performing live on a regular basis as a hobby that could pivot into a career. Then I'm going to start singing lessons. This year, I'm just going to focus on voice. Next year, I'm going to focus on the instrument, for example, right? So we want to identify what will get us one step further in a real and learned and sustainable way toward what we want to achieve in this life. What would be one next step toward embodying this level of success or this goal in a sustainable way? This process of identifying just one next step sets us up best and allows us to more authentically look to the future and energize the highest version of ourselves in our lives. Because we're not shooting too far. We're looking at where we just were this past year. And then we're saying, what would be one step further than that, right? So I want you to identify that. You're reflecting on where you are now and tune into the one realistic next step toward where you want to be. And don't worry, there will be many more steps after you identify this one step, but the muscle I'm trying to break out in you and strengthen in you is how to find that one next step. Finding that correct next step is one of the most powerful things that you can strengthen in yourself that will keep you moving forward. Multiple things at once. Staying present with your one realistic next step that's sustainable. Okay. So for example, if you're trying to clean up your diet, you're not going to go cold turkey, raw vegan, breatharian overnight after being a meat eater. No, you're going to let go of maybe chicken or beef, let go of one thing at a time. And then within a month or 2 or 3, you let go of all animal product and you might have it on a special occasion. This is an example, right? So what we're doing is we're reflecting on where you are now, who you are being, and we're tuning into the one most realistic next step toward where you want to be. The reason why we focus on one step is because we have an accountability call group, this crew that we get together weekly, and we're going to keep identifying step after step after step all year long. Okay, so all we need right now is the next mile of road, just the one next step. Harness the power of the present and identify one next step toward each one of the goals on your list. Just one next step. And if 2 or 3 more steps after that come about, write those down too. That's totally cool. You might be getting a lot of downloads about one of the particular areas and what all the steps are. Totally fine. Write more than one step if more than one step's coming. Otherwise, we're focusing on our one real next step. And we're going to actually go do that real next step. Like we're going to make that next step part of who we are being. We're going to incorporate that into our life. And then we're going to take a step after that. You see how you're getting how this works? So we're not going to shoot out the cannon. We're going to actually choose one thing and do it, like give up dairy. And we're going to give it up. We're going to throw out all the dairy from the refrigerator. And we're going to take the rest of January and not consume dairy or alcohol or whatever it is for you, right? One next step. What is it going to be? Or many, if many steps come, but just write down what is your way forward right now from where you are. And we're going to have a little fun with it for the next question, because I know this has been very rigorous and very structured and very intentional, which is valuable, and I'm glad you're sticking with me and doing it. But now I want you to just go ahead and have a little bit of fun, pull out all the stops, and I want you to just take 1 to 3 minutes, and I want you to just splash around in your wildest dreams, deepest desires, and grandest visions. Now that we've done all this super like sobering, realistic work, I want you to just go crazy. Picture your wildest dreams, your deepest desires, your grandest visions. Take 1 to 3 minutes, no more, and just write your most outrageous, far out inspiration that you can imagine experiencing in this lifetime or in this year. What would be just absolutely like, boom, top, peace out, like the best thing ever for you? Okay. What would that be? Wildest dreams, deepest desires, grandest visions. Give it to me now. Write it out and have fun with it. Mm-hmm. Excellent. I can feel all the creative juices already. And then we're going to wrap it up with just a few fun things. Is there a word or a phrase for 2024 or whatever year you happen to be watching this in? Is there a word or a phrase for the year that is resonating for you that you want to just like put on a banner in your mind or tape to the wall? One thing that you want to reflect on a year from now that helps you know where you started and where you've been. Or is there one thing you want to reflect on a year from now that you know is guaranteed to happen? Just sort of a word or a phrase to bring it all in. An intention or a single word is usually really powerful. Mm-hmm. Jot that down. And then we wrap this up with a moment of appreciating where we are and what we have. Okay. A gratitude practice is one of the simplest, most misunderstood superpowers that I think is finally sticking and gaining in popularity. So a gratitude practice is not just I'm grateful for flowers and rainbows and bunny rabbits, but we live in a universe of energy and frequencies, and gratitude or appreciation and genuine, like visceral acknowledgement of something that we're grateful for, it actually moves our energy up the scale where more opportunity and more good stuff exists. And so it's such a simple process, and you've heard it before, but set your timer and do a 3-minute listing out of everything. How did I write it? Let me see what I wrote for you guys. Make a list of everything and everyone that you feel a deep appreciation for in this life. Fill up a page, fill up as many pages as you want, because consistent high levels of appreciation, it aligns our vibrational set point to attract more blessings and opportunities and easy successes and ways forward and more clarity into our life. So again, consistent high levels of appreciation aligns our vibrational set point to attract more blessings and more things that are at that frequency. It's not any more complicated than that. So raise your vibration by just, daily jot 5 things. What was I grateful? What went well today? What am I grateful for today? Morning and night, or whenever you can do it. But right now, I'm asking you to wrap this practice, seal this container in for yourself with a gratitude writing, gratitude practice. Either make a list of 5 things, 10 things, or fill up a page, just rampage on everything you have that you are grateful for. And, really look around. You probably have more that you can be grateful for than meets the eye or that you realize on a day-to-day basis. Bonus points is to send a few text or voice notes to friends and family, letting them know what you specifically appreciate about them. When you acknowledge people for who they are being for you, you're probably going to get more of that loving and good behavior toward you. So that's my 2 cents there. All right, everyone. Amazing job. We've gotten through a lot today. The next most important step is our weekly accountability call circle. This is a weekly meeting where we all hop on a video call together, and I guide us through a process to just harness focus, review what our goal, review what's at hand in that week of that month, identify what has to get done daily, weekly, per quarter. Like it takes all of this work into action and keeps us aligned and in integrity for the next 12 months. And so you're pretty much guaranteed to achieve everything that's on your list. It's a no-brainer. So if you're interested in the ongoing support and container, it's open to men and women and everything in between. Look below for the link and you will get guided to a page that will allow you to sign up to receive an invitation to that ongoing group. All right. Thank you for tuning in. I really do hope that this has helped and been fun and exciting to have some structure and to go a little bit deeper and really get really clear and feel the energy of what you want to bring into your life this year. So thanks again for watching. I look forward to hearing comments or questions or to seeing you all in my accountability group. Have a beautiful rest of the day.